What's up, guys? Ivan here with getivan.com, and in this video I'm going to be showing you guys a spreadsheet that I created for Helldivers 2 for primary weapon stats and total damage index, or TDI. So of course normally I do marketing videos on this channel, but I wanted to create a spreadsheet for myself so I could visualize these stats. All the content online shows like tier S, tier A, B, and all this stuff. It doesn't actually show the numbers, and so I wanted to see the numbers. And I took some screenshots from the game and I fed them into an LLM model and then had it extrapolate all the stats into Markdown, and then basically worked with it to create equations to get better insights on the data. So damage times capacity gives us total mag damage, so how much damage you can do in the from the mag before having to reload. And by the way, you can get this spreadsheet from my Pastebin link here below this video at any time, and it's a permanent link. So total mag damage I think is really important, so how many times you can shoot before you have to reload, right? And then here's the equation for TDI, because I wanted to incorporate recoil and fire rate in there. And actually, when I was trying to figure this out, I remembered, because my background is in SEO, and I remembered the old KEI, keyword effectiveness index metric. So I kind of worked with the LLM to figure out how to create an index equation there in a similar fashion. And this is the total damage index that came up with TDI, which is mag damage times fire rate. So the higher mag damage times the higher the mag damage, the better. The higher the fire rate, the better. Divided by the recoil, the lower the recoil rate, the better. So that's the equation is meant to operate that way. Pardon me. So obviously it's not going to, the purpose of this is not to tell you like what's best overall, because there's a variety of intangibles like the actual attack animation of the weapon, or penetration, or the fact that a weapon overheats, and so on and so forth, explosive, and et cetera, et cetera. But in general, you can look at, instead of having to try to discern the overall value of say 4 different columns or 5, you can kind of look at, okay, I'm going to find something that does the most total damage before the reload, and also that has the highest TDI, which basically allows you to combine that with, your recoil. It pretty much gives you faster damage output with lower, latency. That's the idea of the TDI column. Pardon me. And then you can go, okay, I want high damage, I want it to be quick, and then also something with maybe a little bit better penetration or some effect, and you can just kind of reference that, eyeball that over here. We could put arbitrary values on penetration, and even on some of the other effects, but it would be a lot more difficult to do that. There are other things too, like how many total mags does the weapon have, but I leave that to you guys to then discern beyond this point. The purpose of this spreadsheet is just to get a better idea about the actual numbers in the object, because it really does boil down to math at the end of the day. And so I thought it was curious when I was looking at the data, this SMG-37 Defender has a pretty fair amount of damage, low recoil, fires fast, really high score, right? I don't think I've used that one to date, but that one kind of caught my attention. A lot of what I use in both bugs and bots is the breaker incendiary. As you can see, it does an enormous amount of damage. And of course, there's the incendiary intangible, fires very quickly, also has a low recoil, really strong contender there. Pardon me. Good number of total mags also. But anyways, I won't go through all the data. I'll go through. I guess I'll go through a little bit, but like some of the stuff that I've in high level bots, for example, I've had a pretty good number of rounds with the eruptor or with the exploding crossbow, which have their merits. A crossbow, for example, fires a lot faster, reloads a lot faster too. We don't see reload time, which is a big deal. Like with the eruptor, it takes forever, and it rates it at the absolute bottom, I guess, because it fires so slow and has such a high recoil. Pardon me, but it is medium armor pen, explosive, so really able to down those mids effectively. But when you think about like the total damage output and the utility of the weapon, I mean, there are a lot of weapons that are higher. So that it's interesting that the math comes out that way. And I excluded the blitzer from this because I didn't want to sit around and try to figure out infinity and damage values per second. I I placed the last 5 scythe here just because the score came out to be this way, but that's not exactly accurate. Like I don't know the exact transfer weight between DPS versus all these other stats. So the TDI is not per second; it's like per round of damage, right? Calculated across all these values, and certainly the fire rate could be broken down to a second value, but I just didn't want to take the time to figure that out. So I'm not saying this is perfect. Just keep that in mind. It's just an overall view to give you an idea of some big numbers. Like I'm going to be looking for things that give me a big number on the mag, quick deep damage output, and then I'm going to be looking at the intangibles, just to see if there's anything I can do to optimize. So that's pretty much it. Like, comment, subscribe, and don't forget you can get the link to this at the bottom of this below this video. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.